Hey guys, Anyango here. Once again, I'm with ya. Hoping that you're healthy, wealthy, and free and loving your life. Always, always, always loving your life. It's a stormy afternoon on my side. It's been hot all day and suddenly it started raining. So now it's a stormy evening, afternoon/evening, and it's pretty cool. So I don't mind it, and I don't mind the sound of rain in the background as I'm doing my stuff, right? Today is going to be about being present, and I'll talk about it in three aspects. The first one by Jim Rohn, I've mentioned him before, and Jim Rohn's aspect is about how the idea of not being present can be detrimental to anything that you're doing. The second part will be based on Kobe Bryant and one pillar of the Mamba mentality that talks about obsessiveness and how to achieve that. And the third one will be a trick that I learned, saw, was posted by the Six Figure Mentors, which is a program that I'm in, that I've mentioned. If you've been following me long enough, I've mentioned before. So that's the Six Figure Mentors. Right, so what Jim Rohn says is that, and I love the way he speaks. He makes it seem it's just so simple. If you want anything to change, like this is his main motto. If you want anything to change, you have to change. It's simple. It's simple. You have to change. So what he says now, in particular, to this being present in whatever task you're doing, he gives the example of, if you're a father who's always busy and you're always thinking about, and your family's always complaining, you're always at work, you're never home, we don't get to see you, we don't get to spend time with you. And now every time you're at the office, you're worried about, or you're thinking about, the kids at home, I haven't spent time with them, we should be at the beach, let me plan and see how we can go to the beach. And then you finally get time and you go to the beach, and then at the beach you're worrying about work. I could be doing this task or that task right now. You've almost carried your briefcase with you to the beach because you're just so worried about the beach, and therefore you don't enjoy the beach when you're at the beach. You're not focused or enjoying your work when you're at work. So what's the point? He said, when you're at the beach, be at the beach. When you're at work, be at work. And now the important thing about this is to actually schedule time for all of these. So everything has to have its time, so that so that nothing is sacrificed, right? So that in the end, everything gets the time that it should have, because you can focus on it as best as completely in that moment. So it needs to be scheduled. If you don't schedule it, it won't get done. I've said that before. And I could actually give a real life example of this. I have a good friend who posted on her status the other day, and she posted a photo of her daughter during this pandemic time, 2020, that we're going through. And she was so surprised at the fact that she didn't know the last time she had actually sat down and had breakfast with her daughter during this pandemic. She was always so busy doing this or doing that. She was always up and down. Like either she's just made the breakfast and then she's left, so she can't sit there with her daughter, or she's doing something at the table, so she isn't actually able to concentrate on her daughter. And so I mentioned this to her, the fact that if schedule time for everything. If it's breakfast time, it's breakfast time, and you're not doing anything for that. And that is in addition to having specific places and spaces for certain tasks, certain jobs, meaning that you don't have your work laptop or your textbooks for your kids at the dining table. You have a separate desk where that is our work desk, that is our school desk. When we're working, we're over here. When we're eating, we're over here, so that even the mind is able to switch. The mind knows that once I sit here, I'm not doing any more work, I'm eating. So let's eat and let's concentrate on the people that are here. So that's the Jim Rohn aspect. The second is Kobe Bryant's aspect, and he says this idea of focus is pretty simple. If you're doing something, you're doing that thing. So do that thing. You're not doing anything else. And this plays into, now he was explaining, this explanation was given for the Mamba pillar of obsessiveness. So he was asked, how do you achieve this level of obsessiveness? And he said just that. It's pretty simple. If you're doing something, then you're doing that thing. And then being obsessive comes very easily, because then you want to, you're concentrating on the detail. You want everything to be perfect. So you're looking at everything and focusing on every task that you're doing in order to achieve that goal in that particular time. So when he's playing basketball, his mind is on basketball and on nothing else. Right? So that was on the Mamba mentality. There's 5 pillars. Can I remember them? No, I can't. But one of them is the obsessiveness. The other is passion. The other is, was there hard work? I'll post them. I'm embarrassing myself. I'll post them. But I think there are 5 pillars. Relentlessness. I'll post them. Let me not kill myself. And then the third part of this is what SFM posted as a trick, a sort of trick on how you could come back to the moment when you feel like you've left, or when your mind is just all over and it's making noise and you can't just sit there and concentrate on the one thing that you're doing. And what they say is, picture yourself. So you sit down, you close your eyes, and picture yourself at your favorite spot in your home. Whether it's an imaginary place, your dream home, but picture yourself in your chair, sitting by the window, and you're reading your favorite book. And it's a really interesting book. You're totally stoked. You're at this point in the book where you need your total concentration. And the window's slightly open, it's breezy, and there's a bit of light, beautiful light coming through. And then you hear this group of people walking outside by the window, and they're talking really loudly. They're all happy and animated. And you kind of start concentrating on what they're saying, and kind of distracts you a little bit. So you really want to focus on your book and understand what's happening at this point, because it's really, really interesting. And so you stand up and push the window closed, and you lock it, and the voices of the people that were talking fade away. They become dim. And then stay in that state and open your eyes and continue your work in that state. If I can find the Instagram post, I'll put the link below. But I actually tried it in the moment, and that was pretty perfect. And it's not even a video. It's words written down. So it's actually an Instagram post. So I'll try and find it and put it in the links below, in the description below, so that you can see that as well. So mindfulness is pretty powerful, and I'll say this is something that I'm struggling with at the moment. I have so many things that I'm trying to do, and when I'm unable to focus on the one task and always thinking about one thing or the other, then nothing gets done. And that's a problem, because then nothing is ever complete, and then my mind is always at every moment, going back and forth and not doing anything as it should be done to the level of perfection that I would like it to be at, because I know that I'm capable of it. Right? So I am committing to mindfulness. And I hope you can join me on this journey and this task as well. So that's my gem for the day, and I hope it can help you out. Ciao.